All right, welcome in. Live now, post game on what has been a crazy day in the SEC that saw South Carolina lose to LSU at home, and now Auburn losing for the first time in forever at home, 70-59 to Kentucky. It's Kentucky's first win in Auburn since pre-pandemic back in 2019. In this contest, McCurry Rentals, they bring you our basketball coverage all year long. I'm Jim Dunaway. That is Taylor Korn. I was in Tuscaloosa earlier for the morning game. TK had the night time down at Neville Arena, where the atmosphere was crazy. But it's not crazy anymore after the loss. Just your instant reaction, little T. Is your mic working? Okay.
Yeah, it's working fine. I'm not fine though. I like we couldn't shoot the ball. I mean, we were 18% from three, and I think 30% from. I think 30%. Yeah. I'm gonna leave so I can say what I want to say. 18%. Yeah, that won't win. I think in the first half they had 18 points off turnovers.
Yeah, it was
I think
15-0 on
Auburn had
turnovers early in the game. Yeah, first half.
yeah. So that, in addition to not scoring, you will not win a game.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something you can share with us. Just the mood leaving the arena there now, because you're apparently leaving the arena. You're not going to stay on the court again, where
Well,
where most of the Sports Center hits happen. You're leaving again. So where are you headed? Where are
hey,
you going?
I don't probably back to that field. When is the last time that I've ever acted like Sports Center though? That's not.
That's not who you are.
I can well, I can either filter myself and stand on the court, or I can come outside and speak what I'm feeling. So I went with the latter of the two. But like I'm like really not trying to say awful things right now, but like we beat ourselves. They are good, but it was we could have won the game just changing the way that we play. Like I'm trying to form coherent thoughts right now, but we beat ourselves.
This field you go to, is it the same field you go to after wins? Is it one field, or do you have a field for wins and a field where you go to when you lose?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Because the exit of the court where the lighting was fantastic is always amazing for me. But you need fresh air, I take it.
I'll stand by this light pole.
No. You go wherever you need. You go where you need to go.
Let me just get out of like population. It's so freaking frustrating because we shoot like we shot on Wednesday, and then fast forward 48 hours or 72, however many hours, and this is what happens. Like that, it's inconsistent. It's too emotional. Everything's too emotional.
Well, let's start there. Not to break up your train of thought, but I thought you had a really great point about how Auburn played early on, because game day was there. People had been camping out since you and I were there for South Carolina. There just seemed to be a buzz all day on campus, all week on campus. And did you think the players came out and showed any composure at all early on, or do you think they were trying too hard? They just didn't seem to take a beat.
I don't even know if it was I don't even know if it was like the excitement of the day, the week. It's just, everything seemed so frantic. It wasn't, let's calm down, gain a little bit of composure and regroup. It's everything seems rushed. Everything seems hectic. And I think that's where a lot of the turnovers came from. Hold on, I'm
Yep.
trying to cross the
No,
road.
I
Um,
agree with you. I don't think they played their normal game. They were 17 of 55 from shooting from the field, 4 of 22 from three. They had 0 points off turnovers in the first half. Kentucky was more physical than them. They uh, they just didn't look like themselves. I don't know what Baker Mazzaro was doing early on. Everything had to be
behind the back,
a little something extra behind the back with a little cherry on top, and foul trouble from Trey Donaldson. Just
early.
the
He had
ball
4
didn't
with 18 minutes left.
Yeah, the ball didn't seem to go through Janai Broom like it does on nights when they're clicking. And we'll get some comments here. Landmine believer, and we're all saying this: prayers for Jalen Williams. It
Yeah,
looked nasty on television. I don't know if you could see it in the arena there. He comes down and his body keeps going, and his leg twists and his knee twists. I will not make a diagnosis. I have not heard anything official, but he is one of the best players for Auburn.
and
Landmine
I
Believer
think
says if he is done for the year, that is bad for Auburn. That is an understatement.
that it was you that made the point of, when he has a good game, the team has a good game. That's how it's been recently.
Yeah,
And I agree. I saw it happen, but obviously, I couldn't see as well as you would see on the TV. And they're not going to replay that in the arena. So
yeah.
I saw it
Jimmy
initially,
writes
but
in, says big win for Kentucky, probably the best road win by any team in the SEC this year. Kentucky took the crowd out of the game and held Broome to 14 and 0 of 3 from three. Yeah, I mean, I know double figures is still a good night, but when you hold Janai Broome to 14 and then there's no Jalen Williams to get out there and back it up with his own boatload of points, where Jalen, I think he ended up with 3 points on the night. That's sort of the way Auburn looked when they lost, at Mississippi State and other times when Jalen Williams wasn't a big factor. Good point there by Jimmy.
well, and I think playing off that a little bit, we don't have that one guy that you can depend on every single game, which I don't think a team should be dependent on that because they have a bad game and that's it. But at the same time, it's like someone else needed to step up. But I'm trying to find a light. I got in my car so I can get a light out, so I'm not a black screen. But
You do what
so
you need to do. Let me hit some of these um, comments. Tesla Talk says Taylor is in full devastation mode. Hang in there. It's a
I
long
am,
season. Long
yeah,
season though, right?
that's yeah, yeah. That's what I'm telling myself. Thank you for the emotional support. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Monty says little T looks hurt.
I am
Um,
hurt. I am hurt. At the last 9 minutes of the game, I just said screw it to the being an impartial when you're sitting with the media type ordeal. Because I don't know the people that are around me. So I'm like, I don't know if they're Kentucky beat writers. But at the end of the game, I was just like, I'm saying what I want. I'm reacting how I want. And if these people get pissed off, then so be it. They're either Auburn fans and they feel the same way, or they're Kentucky fans and they can go back to Kentucky.
um, JC says Auburn fans camped out for no reason. What was
That's,
the atmosphere like? Was it because Kentucky was playing so well? Did I mean on television they kept saying the building is quiet. Was it as quiet in the building since you were there as they were making it out to be on television?
I mean, it was, it would get very, very loud when something good happened, but it was, I mean, quiet, quieter than usual, yes, because we weren't hitting shots. Like if we had a steal, if something good happened, it was very loud. But I mean, honestly, for a lot of that game, there wasn't much good happening.
Tim says wasn't just a loss. Kentucky physically was better, and they didn't have their best player. They were playing without their best player tonight, and played man. They were making it out on the broadcast, and those that were not there and were able to watch Jay Billis on the broadcast, he did keep talking about how this was Kentucky's best defensive effort, most physical effort of the season. If they could carry it forward, it would be a tough a tough out down the road. Keep in mind now that is Auburn's fourth loss in the SEC standings. Bama has 2, so you're 2 back of Alabama now in the loss
Thank you
column.
for the reminder. Thank you.
And Tennessee is 1 back of Alabama right now. We were live earlier today after Alabama's 100-75 win over Texas A&M. That is available on all of our platforms. If you'd like to go check that out. Jeff, who is an Auburn fan, says Auburn has just handed Alabama the SEC. I will point out that Tennessee does come to Tuscaloosa, so there's still a meeting between what is now the first and second place team right now. Here's a good question. NH3425 wants to know, Little T, if you were the coach, what would be your speech to the team right now? What would be your speech to the Auburn team right now as they move forward?
I would say, I think hold on, I got this light on, but it's blinding me. I would say
just not a good night for you.
No, we're good. I just need to turn it down a little. I would say, I think my whole takeaway from really all of this is
no. Pretend you're Taylor Pearl, and you're talking to the team right now. What do you tell them? You want time to think about it?
I mean, I have things that I like, my beliefs, but the whole I don't know. I've never been a coach, so I don't know how upset you get with the team. Like, I don't know how upset you can get with the team and not deplete their confidence.
So you'd be pretty honest with them tonight, is what NH3425 is asking. You'd take the paint off the walls.
I think what I would harp on is what stands out to me, which this, and I don't know if other people really pay attention to this, but what is frustrating to me about this team is if a foul's called, it's yelling at the ref. It's what in the world? And it's just everything. So I'm just like, just focus on the game. Like, if you make one shot, yes, like, celebrate for a second, but it can't be the highest of highs and the lowest of lows the entire game. And I feel like that's what happens. They either get super pissed off or they're super excited. It's not stable.
Were there enough Kentucky fans there tonight that maybe they're going to roll tumors? Were there a lot of Kentucky fans in the building?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Because it's sort of a down year for them. I was wondering, because usually they will have a pretty significant traveling party that will overpay to get tickets in opposing arenas. And I just didn't feel that kind of buzz from Kentucky people because they were having such an average year until tonight. It's such a big win for them.
Yeah, congratulations. Big win, guys.
David says, I agree with her. Auburn is still the best team in the SEC.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think.
Did you say that earlier?
No. I think maybe he's saying he agrees about the emotional stuff, and he's saying that Auburn's best team in the SEC. No, I don't believe that. I think that if they play to their potential, they could be, but we don't see that. We see it. We see sparks of it. We see it some games, but you don't see that every game, and you can't rely on it every game. You can't assume that that's going to happen.
Cody says Kentucky had the better guard play tonight. I mean, when you get the foul trouble from Trey, Aiden Holloway cannot shoot. He cannot shoot.
Yeah, he's
something's got to change. He cannot shoot. I mean, at that point you can leave him open and let him shoot threes all day long until he proves he can hit them. You let him shoot all day long. He cannot shoot when you need them.
Well, I mean, no one freaking could tonight.
Yeah, not a great night there. Shooting was bad, says Richard. It was a bad night shooting. I mean, this stuff happens to you in basketball. Problem is, it usually doesn't happen to Auburn at home. Troy's a big Auburn fan. Season's done. They can't hit water if they fell out of a boat, and they lose their best player for an extended period. Let me finish what Troy says, and then give me your comment. I will start over. Season done. They can't hit water if they fell out of a boat and they lose their best player for an extended period. Season done. They ain't winning blank. Best hope is for a first round SEC tournament bye, and then like it doesn't make sense the rest of the way. Troy's one of those big Auburn guys in the chat. The season's not done, you say. React to that.
Okay, number one, the season's not done, and this this is not against Troy personally. Like this is what infuriates me about Fame. Like, okay, we lost a game. Everyone loses games. We had a bad shooting night, but what if we played like we did on Wednesday? They've shown the potential to do that, and not every team has their best game every game. Like, you have good games and you have bad games. Yeah, we might be seeing more bad games than we like to see, but I mean, saying the season's over is ridiculous. Even if Jalen Williams is out, like, I still wouldn't say that.
Do you feel like what Jimmy is saying, that the players maybe started to believe they could do anything and they were invincible, they were bulletproof in Neville Arena, that maybe reading too much of their headlines, too much rat poison about how awesome that building is?
No, I mean, I feel like that's been being said for a while now. I think they literally just couldn't shoot the ball. I don't know what causes that, but they just can't. Auburn player, what did that say?
Auburn players seem to get hit in the face a lot.
Okay, well,
There
Chad
was a lot.
Baker-Mazara did get smashed in the face, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, he did. It was on replay. I know Bruce saw it with his eyes, he said, but on replay, they there was incidental contact. They said he didn't know he was there. It wasn't anything that they felt rose to a flagrant foul at all. Cody says, without Jalen Williams, Auburn's won't make a deep run. The guards are average and have been carried by Broome and Williams all year. Again, no update on how long or if at all Jalen Williams will be out. He did leave the game just past the 10-minute mark and did not return. He wasn't putting anything wasn't putting any weight on his leg when he was helped off the court. They do that instant ACL test on the court that everyone does. And usually my history of covering especially football, but rarely do I see an ACL in basketball, but usually in football, no matter what the school is, they'll test that knee out. And then if it is a torn ACL, they usually lean forward, whisper into the ear of the player, and then there is some emotion. I did not see that type of reaction from the trainer and the player tonight with Jalen Williams. And that's just me being old and 30 years of sportscasting. If I had to just guess right now, I don't think it's an ACL tear, but we'll get official word from Bruce at some point. If you see that on your phone at some point, Taylor, let us know tonight. Steven says, how you like them apples? Go Cats. They even won without a bunch of home cooking calls by the refs. C-A-T-S, C-A-T-S, C-A-T-S,
Are you okay?
C-A-T-S. Let's go. What now?
They are what? Okay, give me 3 examples of calls that. Please,
I mean,
please.
we're a popular platform, Taylor. There are just some Kentucky fans who are going to jump in.
Oh,
And
please, I welcome them all, but don't start coming in here saying shit like that, because I think that there were suspect calls both ways. I'm not going to say that the refs lost Auburn the game or anything like that, but it was not good officiating. But that is not. They weren't all going Auburn's way by any means, and saying that is outrageous.
Stephen, that is Taylor,
Congratulations.
social media director for the next round.
Do you want to advertise that right now?
Jason says, dominated on your home court. A lot of other fans in here tonight, Taylor.
That's fine. Show me all the mean ones. I'll react.
Mary Catherine saying, buckle up, little T, in the car, not for the season.
I'm not
buckle
driving.
up, but she's not driving right now, so she's good.
Thank you.
She's just sitting right now. Lane, my believer's right. Kentucky never gave Auburn the crowd the chance to get into the game.
There was one,
which was surprising.
I agree with that. There was one. It was later into the second half. I think we cut their lead to like 4 or 6, maybe. We went on we had a good few couple of possessions back to back, and it got super loud in there. Or at that point. But other than that, no, I agree.
Dodger fan, don't forget LT saying the Bama game would be close. I too thought, Dodger fan, that the A&M team would come off and play a much better game after losing to Vandy to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive today. And Alabama just shot the ball that well today. All four guards in double figures for Alabama earlier. Again, we did a whole post game after Alabama earlier. Sam says it's clear Taylor can dish it out, but she can't take it. Is
I
that true, Taylor?
I literally just said, give me the mean comments and I will react.
Yeah, but that was 7:54. I'm a little behind getting to all these, so
I
maybe
can
they didn't
take
hear that
it, but I'm
part.
going to respond. You can't take it. You can't say something and then expect me to smile and agree. I can say, if they want to say something to me, say it. Say it. I will read it, and that's fine. But I
Uh,
don't expect me not to clap back.
Kentucky guy, Alabama has to come to Rupp next Saturday. They sure do. I will say this, since in this scenario, I guess I have to play the role of Alabama guy. Is that what we do, Taylor?
I don't.
Um,
If you start
I
like
per-
pulling up all these good Alabama stats, I'm going to leave the call.
I personally think that this is the worst Kentucky team I've seen Kentucky have in whew, 7 years, 8 years. So, um, I mean, it's Rupp Arena. I don't expect Alabama to win there, but I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't think Kentucky will be playing in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, no matter what happened tonight. That's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. Bama UT for the conference championship in Tuscaloosa is what Drew is predicting there. Um, Some of these guys have already commented. Billy wanted to know what was Kentucky doing defensively that worked so well. I'm not a basketball former player, Billy, so I can't break that down for you. We'll have Stephen Pearl on the show Tuesday, and we'll ask him that question. That's a good question. That's something I'm sure the Auburn coaches are asking themselves as well.
Well,
Um,
I have something to say about that really fast.
okay, go ahead.
I think, I mean, I'm this way. I don't know anything about like the technicality of, well, sorry, of basketball, but I mean, I will go back to say, I think that we were somewhat beating ourselves a little bit. Like, yes, they played well, but we also were missing, like, us missing shots helped them defensively, obviously.
Well, I think early on Auburn was just taking their choice of shots was not as good as they normally are. They were taking horrible shots early on, as pointed out on the broadcast if you were watching that. But their choice of shots early on, some forced by Kentucky, some not. That they felt like they were going to, hit a big tough three or make a behind the back pass when you have 3-on-1 in a break, and it was going to somehow ignite the crowd and it was going to go crazy and you were going to get on the run like what usually happens during that 16
That's,
game home win streak. And they
that's,
shot the ball horribly.
that's another thing is sometimes I think there's, nothing needs to be fancy. Like, people will get just as excited if you win again. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's cool, but if you're taking a risk trying to do something crazy instead of just doing, sometimes that's just
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Jeff says, I've been saying this. Auburn is a capital letters, very emotional team. It helps them at home and when their shots are falling, but when things are going bad, it also hurts them. Goes the other way.
Yeah, they're so
Paraphrasing Goodell.
emotional. They're so emotional about
Yeah.
everything. About everything. Like and I don't know how, like, I don't know how, what you do about that as a coaching staff.
Well, I think when you're emotional, it can play to your advantage sometimes. Like you've seen it, especially at home. Like you've seen it happen the last 3 years under Bruce. Bruce is an emotional guy. I think you end up being a lot like your coach is. Excuse me, and he is. He plays on that emotion. You got 11 guys, and he can ramp them up and throw them out there. Um, it just was just it's basketball, man. Just not their night. Benjamin, energy was there in the arena. Team played a C game and beat and got beat. Plus losing Williams took the air out of the team. Pretty good there. Andy, as a Bama fan, Auburn season not done. They lost a big game. It happens, especially in this league this year. I agree with that. And Kevin says, "How's that SEC win streak going now, Taylor? Home win streak. Do you have emotions on that being that coming to an end? That 16-0, 16 game
No,
win streak?
I mean, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't feel any worse. Losing doesn't feel any worse because of that. Sorry, I just said that. I just did that to you, whoever said that. But no, I don't care about that. I wish that we would have won the game, but like, I don't just want to win the game to keep the streak alive. Like, that's great, but like,
Yeah." Jason says, "I agree with you, Taylor. Even as a Bama fan, Bruce will use this as a tool to get Auburn tournament ready."
and
Yeah,
and the thing is we weren't gonna win out before the SEC tournament.
yeah,
Or they
that
just
is
had a
true.
bad night, y'all. Why does everything have to be like them listening to too much outside stuff? Like, or
Well,
they
you
just
started
didn't
off.
shoot
You're the
well.
one that started off. Well, you made it sound like you were the one acting like it was the biggest loss ever. That it wasn't just a loss in the middle of the season. So I think they were. I think they were reacting to you.
Do I not act like this after every game? I'm saying that like we the shoot it was atrocious. Our shooting was atrocious, and that's really frustrating.
I agree. I agree. All right, Taylor's about to make the drive back. Anything you want to add before you head back to the house?
I'm sorry if I verbally harassed anyone that commented on here. This is what happens to me. I don't. I'm not trying to be evil, but this is what happens.
Do you go out
But
after a loss? Like, will you go out
well,
tonight in Auburn?
um, I have to drive home. I'm not
Oh,
going
you're
out
not
in
staying?
Auburn.
I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't know if you were staying. I didn't mean to ask a dumb question. I apologize.
No, if I was staying, yeah, I would be going to a bar immediately from here. I might be going to a bar immediately from here when I get back to Birmingham. Who knows?
Well, you want to tell the guys where you're going, or so they continue this conversation? I think some people are enjoying
Oh, we
Sad
can keep
Taylor.
going. Yeah, we can keep going. I'm not in any rush.
No, 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 no. We've done 27 minutes. Some of it good. Some of it just a reaction. Try to keep the post games tight and short. And we appreciate our friends at McCurry Car Rental, car and
Yes.
truck rental. Make sure you check them out if you need any car rental stuff. They'll take care of you. And I appreciated all the coverage today. I hope you guys enjoyed it
You
from
too,
me in
John.
Tuscaloosa and Taylor in Auburn. Despite the game, before the game got out of hand, I hope you enjoyed your day in Auburn. Did you?
I did. Yeah, it was still a good day. It
Was
happens.
Hugh
It
Freeze there?
happens.
Was Hugh there?
No, not that I saw.
Okay.
Not that I
Nick
saw.
Saban was in
But Zep.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah.
He's not your football coach anymore, though.
He's not Alabama's football coach anymore. he's
Yeah.
still
So
he's still he's still
was
the
Kalen
goat
DeBoer
though.
there?
Kayla, I didn't see Kalen there tonight.
Zep Jasper was there.
Yeah, you didn't see that that's one of those things where you expect me to say things like I haven't seen Kalen there since they got the ODK trophy a few weeks ago, but I didn't say that.
Well, you asked if my head football coach was there, and I said no. So I asked if yours was there,
Yeah, I
and you
know.
said
Felt
Nick
like you were
Saban
setting
was
me up to.
there.
I felt like you were setting me up to say something, and then you were
Why would
going to
I set
say,
you up to say something that's going to piss me off?
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was afraid you were setting me up to say something that was going to piss you off. I was
No,
just
why
making a
would I do
point that
that?
Nick Saban was at the game today. We talked about it earlier. I thought that was pretty cool to see Nick out in the wild, enjoying something other
Out
than
in the
golf.
wild.
You
Yeah,
know,
I hope he's doing well.
you know. As you can tell, I'm really uncomfortable after losses with you.
I thought you liked it.
No, no,
You
no,
said,
no.
yeah, you said on the way home, you were like, oh, this is so much more fun when Auburn loses because you're manic. Here I am.
That was when I was in the car and I wasn't having to talk. You were talking directly to the people. Like if I can get off right
Oh,
now, it just makes
well,
me
I'll talk
uncomfortable
directly to the people.
that I'm having to be between you and the people.
You don't have to be. I'll talk to the people, but I can't see the chat because I didn't start it.
Yeah. You can't see the chat when you don't start it?
Oh wait. Oh shoot. Um. Oh wait. Yes, I can.
I always thought you could.
Well, I just didn't click it.
I always thought
Um.
you could.
Well, I was not being smart.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. I'll see if there's anything in here that I wanna.
No, a lot of
Uh.
it's turned into personal comments here lately.
Oh well, I'll skip over those.
Oh, you can answer
Um.
those if you want. Apparently, they think
Person.
I'm attractive. Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
My eyes are bad. I don't know.
Stan, the word on Jalen Williams, I haven't seen anything. They said on the Auburn Sports Network broadcast, I think it was near the end of the game, that they weren't expecting a update prior to
Right.
the end of the game, and I haven't looked at my phone or Twitter or anything since then, so I am not sure.
Yeah, I've
But
not seen anything official from Auburn yet about his future.
I have not
So
either.
yeah, so
Um,
they'll
what?
they'll make something official later on.
Bruce has great hype, man. He is overrated. I don't think that Bruce is overrated. I disagree with that.
All right.
Uh, Probably won't know anything till Monday. Did you hear that, Jordan? Or are
Well, they always give you a an initial feeling, and then they make it official when the swelling goes down and you go and get the MRI.
okay? I
So
don't
that's the
know.
way it always plays out. All right, little
Um,
T, drive safely, my friend.
I will.
All right.
I'll probably get on Twitter when I get home. So if anyone wants to continue on the conversation, I'll respond in 2 hours because I'll probably still be upset. So,
All right. Use
but
Taylor Corn in Auburn, McCurry Car and Truck Rental. We appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your basketball tonight, or is what's on my TVs now, apparently UFC fighting, which I don't know why we cut our Saturday night of basketball short, but we do that now on ESPN. I'll find basketball somewhere else and enjoy this pretty good day of basketball that has Alabama now in first, Tennessee in second, and Auburn 2 games back, and the race continues in the Southeastern Conference. Nashville in the NCAA tournament still coming. Today, the selection committee put out their top 16 teams from the actual selection committee. Auburn a 4 seed, Alabama a 3 seed. We'll see how this impacts Auburn moving forward, and we'll see an update on Jalen Williams when we do the show, 9 a.m. Central coming up on Monday. Until next time, guys, y'all have a great weekend, okay? Be safe,
hi
Taylor.
guys.